What I wanted to start the day off with is telling you a little bit about how I network socially and in the community. And I've kind of come up with a new way that I'm doing that. I call it the Bass-Ackward way. And the reason why I call it Bass-Ackward is because it's totally different from what everybody else is doing. Part of what I want to tell you about is kind of a series of steps that I've learned to go through that I think can help you increase your business. And the first thing that I call it is be the mayor of your village. Being the mayor of your village is your specific sphere of influence. Joe Girard, famous car salesman, says everybody has 200 people in their sphere of influence. So what I urge you to do is to figure out who is in your sphere of influence. In other words, who knows your name and whose name do you know? Do you have them, and do you have them in a database? Do you have them in a sufficient place to where you can contact them at any time? And so spend time being the mayor of your sphere of influence. And what that means is if you're Mayor Joe Lockwood in my town and somebody calls you and they've got a hole in the road, what do? You got to fix it. Why do you need to fix it? Because you want that person to vote for you again. Well, if you help your friends, your sphere of influence, your village, then reciprocity kicks in and they help you. If I buy you lunch, next time we go out, you're going to feel inclined to buy me lunch. So work on your sphere of influence. I believe that the people in your sphere of influence will give you all the business that you could ever get. The problem is that the people that know you, love you, and care about you the most don't know what it is that you need. I'll prove that point to you. I thought, my mom has never sent me a deal. I've been in the mortgage business for 20 years, or at that time, 15 years. My mom has never sent me a deal. If you know my mom, she's one of the most well-known, influential people in Roswell. She's been the president of Roswell Women's Club, which is kind of the mafia in Roswell. So it hit me. So on a Tuesday, I get in my car and I drive over to my mom's house. She's out there picking her flowers or, doing her little gardening. She's never really had a job. She's been pretty fortunate. And she says, "What are you doing here at Tuesday on 2 o'clock? And I said, "I got a problem." She said, "What's the problem?" I said, "We're not going to have Christmas at the Beecham house this year." And she said, "Do you need some money?" And I said, "Yeah, I need some money, but I'm not going to borrow money from you, Mom." I said, "The problem is I don't have enough business." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, let me ask you this, Mom. How do I get my business?" She said, "Well, I guess people call you." I said, "Well, how do they know to call me?" She says, "Well, you know everybody." And I said, "Well, I know you, and you've never had anybody call me." And she says, "I didn't know you needed me to have people call you." And I said, "Mom, I need all my friends to help me be successful." And from that day on, my mom has referred me 2 or 3 deals a month. So what I'm saying to you is that your sphere of influence will help you. They don't know what it is you're looking for. All right, so concentrate on being the mayor of your village. The other thing that I want to tell you about is what I call 360. I talk to people in the mortgage business and I say, "Okay, there's your customer base. What are we going to do?" And they say, "Well, we're going to call on agents. And then over here, we're going to call on sort of friends and stuff." And that's their whole database. That's their whole marketing scheme. And then I say, "No, guys. Business comes from 360 degrees around you. My agent pieces may be that. My kids' schools may be that. My churches may be that. The Rotary clubs may be that. My neighbors are maybe that. My family's maybe that." In other words, I can get business out of all the way around me, my whole sphere of influence. Let's take Howard right there. He's in the car business, fleet, automobile sales. I mean, he's calling on people at Coke or UPS or somebody that needs a person to help them buy and sell their fleet. In his mind, he doesn't see how Steve Beecham can really help him because I'm in the mortgage business. And I may or may not know the guy that he needs to talk to at UPS. But maybe that's not the case. The problem is if he asked each one of y'all if y'all knew anybody at UPS or at Coca-Cola or at any major corporation, the chances are is that everybody here in this room knows at least one person at one major corporation that you could give to Howard that could help him get closer to where he needs to get to the ultimate person that he needs to talk to. And if he does that, he's got a warmer lead than if he calls them on the phone and tries to find them. And so your business comes 360 degrees around you. The problem is the people that know us and love us and care about us don't know what it is we need.